She has been part of the big screen and small screen landscape for over 30 years, been in a lot of great shows, a lot of great movies. Her new movie is called Loathe, not Love, Loathe Thy Neighbor. It opens in cinemas. Nice to hear that. In cinema.
Yes.
August 29th, coming to us from Toronto. It is a great pleasure to welcome Lauren Hawley to our city tonight. Hello, Lauren.
Hello. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
So great to have you on the show. We're so pleased. I'm going to start off right off the bat to ask you, you've been involved in film for so long. What is it like? You've really given it all to this new movie because you're executive producer and producer. Can you tell us what that felt like, what that looks like as a longtime actor?
Well, let me just give you a little bit of a story here that at the end of 2022, I went through a family tragedy that was pretty terrible. And I started 2023 just sort of recovering from that and hibernating, I guess. And then I realized in the spring, I need to work. That's what I need to do. This will make me feel better and, whatever. But the strike had happened, so there was no work. And so a friend of mine called and said, let's just make a short, just as an exercise, let's get creative. And I thought, if we're gonna make a short movie, let's make like a full movie. So we went to the union in Canada and we got waivers and a micro budget. And the thing that's really remarkable is that from the day that we had an idea, we found a location, and I had 5 other friends who were also actors who could not work because of the strike. Their shows were all down. And we wrote a script and finished filming all within 7 weeks. It was just supposed to be an exercise of a bunch of creatives living together, making this movie, and we did it. And unbelievably, it was accepted into TIFF, Industry Selects, and we had a real movie, and now it's coming out in theaters, and we can't believe it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, let's talk about this film, Loathe Thy Neighbor. I've got to say, I've seen a lot of your work, as has Lita. I don't think I've seen you like this before. You are playing, let's just call her a curmudgeonly.
Very cranky.
Cranky is a better
lady.
word. Tell us about Wanda and her conflict with her new neighbor, a very sensitive young man. You call him a yuppie.
Yes.
And they are very close in proximity on this rural setting. Tell us about what viewers can expect with this film.
New neighbors, and my character Wanda is very upset about it and takes an immediate disliking to him, and it starts a little bit of a war. And to be honest, Wanda came about because one of the first things we said is, okay, we only have 6 people on our crew. We can't have hair and makeup. We have no money. So I need to play a character that I don't need to have any hair and makeup and can take care of it myself. And Wanda was born. So, these are the things that producers have to figure out when they're pressed.
That's fascinating. I love it. It is definitely a little bit away from what you're normally doing. So what do you have in the works?
We're almost ready to go out with our next script that is something that we've taken much more time on and care, and we want to make movies. I miss the movies that I made in the 90s, that were smaller budget, just good stories. I was always going to the movie theater. I'm not a big fan of these giant CGI superhero movies. It's not planned my weekend around. I'm very excited that this weekend we have 2 sort of smaller budget movies coming out in Naked Gun and Weapons, and 2 different kind of genres. And I really hope they do really well, because I think people are sort of tired of these giant movies. So I want to keep making movies of, little stories, character driven. That's what I like.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we should mention too, Lauren, you're producing, executive producing, and I think Lita and I can identify, because we're the host of a show, but we own the show. It's taking control of the situation. You've also got a new production company, a new film production company called Taconic Pictures. I mean, obviously good and bad with everything, but is there a sense of liberation where you're creating your own product?
There is a sense of liberation, yes, because you're the one who can make the decisions and it's your taste. Frequently in my career, I've had to sort of fit myself in their vision, and I'm really excited to do things that are my vision. So I am excited about that possibility, yeah. And I feel like I've been around, you were kind to me. You said more than 30 years. I've been doing this more than 40 years. So I feel like I've had a ton of experience, and I've made so many movies and so many television series, and I've worked with iconic directors, and, so I just want to sort of take that knowledge that I've just accumulated, I think almost by osmosis, and make my own things.
Well, you were telling us off camera that you miss Vancouver. We're hoping that you get to come back here.
Yes, I miss Vancouver. I always seem to be filming a show there, and I'm not right now. So let's put that out in the ether. I'm looking for another one.
That's a great thing to do.
We always like to ask actors, actresses, when you say move into directing or producing, that, as you said, you've got a body of work. And I would assume that you're also, when you're doing your craft, you're also soaking in the people that you work with that are maybe a little older. Like, as you said, you've been around for a while. I mean, right off the bat, you're working in a landmark show like Hill Street Blues. One of my favorite directors, and I hope it was okay, an experience with this person, but you worked with someone like Sidney Pollack. What does that do for you as an actor when you're working around talent like that, behind the scenes and, of course, in front of the scenes?
Learn really amazing things. I mean, Sidney Pollack is, he was one of my favorites, actually. And he paid me a compliment after we had finished shooting. I was driving in Los Angeles and my phone rang, and it was Sidney. He was in the editing room, and he said to me, "Lauren, I just want you to know that you're my cutaway. You're always doing something, and when I get in trouble in the editing room, I just cut to you." And I thought it was a tremendous compliment at the time, but I realized how important that is as actors, that, when they're shooting the different angles and all that, like, stay in the moment, give it your all for every single person, because you never know when it's going to come back to you.
Well, then that shows your experience. That's very high praise, of course. And we know you've been around doing great movies for a long time. We hope you continue doing that as well. And also giving women that opportunity to, like you said, not so much play yourself. I don't see you as one.
I really don't.
No, but how nice to just sort of let your guard down.
Tell our own stories, yes.
Yes. Thank you for doing that.
And I think something that the Europeans have done a lot more than we have is that when you don't have a lot of money, the script and the characters better be darn good. And that's what you got here, because there's not a lot of money, so you don't have the luxury of going
and I
to see.
think the actors in our movie did such a great job. They're all just terrific characters, and I think it's the thing I'm most proud of, to be honest, is all of their performances.
That's great. Hey, listen, we'll let our viewers know again. It's great saying that we'll be in theaters.
Yes.
On August 29th, Loathe Thy Neighbor. If you have want to see Lauren Hawley in a different kind of role, this would be it. Lauren, thank you for joining us from Toronto.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. This segment was sponsored by the Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.